Alright, welcome back to the Infinifactory series. We are now in resource site 338.11. This is actually probably the hardest zone in the game. So we're going to briefly go into the puzzles, the blank puzzles, and then I'll go into the finished puzzles to show you how it's done. So, what we've got here should look familiar. It is a Javelin missile. Type 2 now, not Type 1. The only thing that differentiates this is that instead of working down, we're actually working up, because my inputs are now in a lower stage than my output. So what we're going to need is the new lifter block. And this basically works as it's described. The block comes on top of the lifter and it gets pushed up. But once it gets pushed up, it just floats there until you act upon it. So you need something else to move it once it gets raised. So in this case, we're just going to use some top sensors mounted with a pusher block to move it along the way. So let's go over the finished solution real quick. Okay, this is the finished solution. And what we've got going on here is my tanks, the midsections, are getting pulled in and then sent straight up into a lifter, and where they're being all merged together, and then once they reach the top, they're getting pushed off, and they're going to drop down onto a waiting base unit, which is being dropped in from there. Once those are fused together, it'll wait for the second engine part to come around and push it off, and it'll come around here, trigger this sensor, and it will push a waiting top piece into place and weld it. Once they're all put together, it'll send it down the line onto a set of 2 lifters. The first one will push it up here, and I've got a side sensor that's going to push it forward a little bit, and then another bottom lifter here, which will raise it even further until the top is just perfectly aligned with the output, and it'll sense it, push it off, and keep it going down the line. So let's turn it on. You can see those midsections are getting welded and pushed in place. Drops down onto the base unit, triggers the top to be put on and welded, lift it up first, lift it up second, and on the output. So this is a relatively easy puzzle for this zone, so we'll get a little bit more complicated as we go. So let's go ahead and finish this out, and if you have any questions or comment, please put them below.